Hello YouTube world, Mac Daddy 1911A1 here with the Shade Tree Survivalists. First, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you a surprise that I got via the mail last week. I would have already put up a video about it, but as you may be able to see, I have been sick. I look like I'm translucent over here. I've lost a little bit of weight. The damn flu got a hold of me and wrung the hell out of me. It wasn't the worst case of the flu I've ever had, but it was bad as damn enough. Anywho, I am over it pretty much now, and I want to share with you the gift given to me by a viewer, one Mr. Gas 1, who was the winner of the Woodsman's Pal, and he sent this new M14 mag, this one here that I've got disassembled for this video, and this really good shape M14 magazine pouch, a real deal Alice pouch. It's in really good shape. The mags are very old. They're original manufacturer issued. KMT company is the ones that had these, that manufactured these for the U.S. military contract. They're very high quality. A little bit of beat up. The parkerization has been knocked completely off and they've been repainted. That's fine. They're in great shape. But he gave these to me. I didn't even know they were coming. I just happened to receive a package in the mail. But I was so damn sick, I didn't even send him an email immediately or want to do a video because of it. I mean, I was down. But it gave me the idea to do this video. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I just never have got around to it. But anywho, one Mr. Gas 1, thank you very, very much, sir. I appreciate it. You actually had a little bit of trouble with that Woodsman's Pal. One of the big rivets to hold the handle on. It's a one-piece handle that surrounds the blade. Came off. Popped off while he was using it. He contacted Woodsman's Pal. They sent him out a bunch of brand new ones instantly. He said their customer service was awesome. I recommend you guys go over to his channel, one Mr. Gas 1, the number 1 on each end, and check out his video of him using that thing for the first time. That baby is a cutting son of a gun. But anyway, he said that these gifts were for my birthday, because I mentioned in one of my videos about my birthday coming up in April. So he said happy birthday, and I appreciate it a hell of a lot. I do. A very early birthday gift, no doubt, but I very much appreciate it. I will be announcing a giveaway of my own in the very next video, but it'll be a couple days before I get a chance to shoot it. It will be our biggest giveaway yet, so please stay tuned for that video. But anywho, onward and upward. Now to the subject of this video, rifle and handgun magazines, pistol magazines. All magazines are not created equally, but all magazines should be periodically disassembled and inspected, cleaned, lubed, and carefully reassembled. Yet more often than not, or never. One Mr. Gas 1 told me he got these two magazines years ago used, and though they look to be in fair shape, I decided this would be a great opportunity to demonstrate disassembly, inspection, cleaning, lubrication, and reassembly for you, the viewer. I did a video search on YouTube this morning, typed in as many different search terms as possible dealing with magazines to find out if there were any comprehensive videos on it. There are not. So I'm hoping that this video will come out halfway decent and it will help you along. I will be covering the rifle magazines, and they're double stack rifle magazines. Even AR-15 magazines and AK magazines, they work the exact same way. They may come apart slightly different, but they all have a magazine body to known as the tube. They have a floor plate that locks it all into place, a magazine spring, and a follower, right, that pushes the bullets up to the top. Because the two primary magazines I'm going to be working with are the M14 M1A magazines, I happen to know a couple of folks right here on YouTube who have recently acquired new M1As. This video will be dedicated to them. Pliskin X 51mm, that means you. And of course all the old timers who own them. Yep, one Mr. Gas 1 being one of those. And of course I'm an old fart too, and so I'm dedicating it to me. Regardless of your platform, your magazine is the key. If you buy junk mags, you get crap performance. If they are damaged or have weak springs, you will have problems. Types of damage include dented, punctured, or warped magazine tubes. The body of the magazine. The tube could be corroded, spring itself could be damaged, rusted, broken, the follower could be destroyed, something wrong with it. And the most critical item of all are the feed lips up here at the top. And I will zoom in here in just a moment, but for now I'll just show that. And that goes for rifle, shotgun, double stack handgun, single stack handgun. The feed lips are critical. We'll discuss those in a little bit more in-depth detail here in a minute. But if the feed lips have cracks in the welds where the seams come together at the top, if they are sprung outward, they are warped, gouged, or scarred, anything that will interfere with the smooth flow of the cartridges through the magazine and into the gun's chamber, you are in trouble. You're going to have troubles. Most repeat failures that you and I have witnessed of any type of semi-automatic firearm while at the range can usually be broken down into two main categories. Number one, the damn gun and or magazine are absolutely filthy. People just don't clean them. They spray a little WD-40 on it and they call that good. That ain't it. WD-40 is useless as a lubricant. And his number two cause is bad magazines. Of course, there are bad cartridges and mechanical failures other than mags, but bad, cheap, or out-of-spec magazines cause most of the problems. If you are like me, you too would be embarrassed if you got out to the range and your weapon became a choke-o-matic. Then someone comes over and says, try a real magazine. Not my idea of a Kodak moment there, 10-4 Roger. So let's begin with an external inspection, then do a complete disassembly, inspection, cleaning, lubrication, and reassembly of the magazines. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll look right here, this here is the magazine tube. Okay, got the floor plate, your magazine spring, and your follower. This is a complete magazine. Now this in here, the follower is, and I don't even have it in this camera shot. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But this one here, the follower is a little bit bad. I wanted to save it, taking it apart for the screen here. You do need to wear safety glasses. I'm gonna just flat out put it on here. If you dumbass don't, you lose an eyeball, it's all on you. Alright, before we go any further, like I said, put your damn safety glasses on. Otherwise you're going to knock your eyeball out, and your wife's going to laugh at you and call you damn Popeye. Your grandkids are going to call you stupid. Put your glasses on. That's the problem with magazines, they're so freaking dark. And the, maybe you can pick this up. At the wide end, the rear end of the magazine, there's a hole. Alright? And there's a funky looking cut back here. Right? That is the lock mechanism. You need a 5/30 32" punch, okay, to do this with. Or if you don't have that, but you have one of those little gunsmithing hook tools, the dentistry type hook tools, I don't know how well the camera can see that. That will work also, but the punch is safer and it's not liable to break, okay? But it'll fit right in the rear of that damn hole, and what you do is you got to push against that spring just a little bit. And you just barely want to insert it in there. Alright, and then you want to pry up and out, and it'll get that little spring loaded portion of the magazine. It'll pop it right out of the way, and you just pull it to you just a little bit. Get up and let this camera see that, and back it up. Alright, you can see how it's protruding beyond the base of the floor plates, coming out beyond the rear of the magazine there. There you go. You can see that a little bit better. There you go. Trying to get all this lined up for the camera is a pain in the damn neck. But anywho, the idea is you're going to slide this floor plate toward the rear of the magazine, the wide end, okay, and that'll expose the spring. Now that's when you got to be damn careful. You don't want that thing to pop out. What I always do is take my index finger on my wick hand, hold over it while I'm pulling this thing. Once you get it out just a little bit, usually you can just grab by your hand and pull it. Now these little slide rails here that hold the floor plate on usually will capture that spring, but just in case they don't, you want your damn finger there, and you don't want it doing this crap here. I mean, hold it up, looking at it like this in your face. You're asking to get hit right in the damn face. We don't want that, so hold it away from yourself. Keep that finger there to keep control of it. Slide the floor plate completely on out of the way. And in this case, it is the little slide rails do have it trapped. So then you're going to have to pull it in and out, working in and out. And start with the smallest end, cold down across the back, and it gets, you know, as big as it's going to get, but you want to just basically work it back and forth until you pop it out of there. Alright, got it started. You can see that there. Pull. Just work it back and forth. Back and forth. And there's the follower. And sometimes I've had them where they're a pain in the neck, and that follower has got some old-timey rust on it, but it's been cleaned up. The spring is in excellent shape as far as there's no rust on it. The follower, good God, I don't even know what all y'all did or didn't see. The follower has the two legs that are supposed to be on an M14. The back of it's slightly bent. We can straighten that out. That ain't no big problem. But the spring itself is in perfect shape. There's no pitting or rust or anything on that baby. Just needs to be wiped off a little bit. Hell, it ain't even dirty. There's none on my hands. And from there, you want to proceed to inspect the interior of the mag tube. You can see all the way down in there. And you want to look down in there with a light, and you want to check. Alright, it's got a little tiny bit of rust where the two halves, or the two sides, are welded here in the front. Alright, I don't know how well the camera's picking all this up. The light in here just is terrible. But on a real military issue, high quality magazine, you will have little dots all the way down the front, little impressions. That's the weld marks. Alright, if you only have 3 or 4 of them, it is an aftermarket magazine. It's a piece of junk. Don't buy it. This is a real deal. Okay? Now that you got it apart, you've had a visual inspection over the follower, the spring, floor plate. The things you really want to look at are the feed lips, because that's what controls the cartridge. The movement of the cartridge. You want to make sure there's no cracks or breaks in it anywhere. Look inside, look outside. And both of these are in perfect shape. This front, good golly. This front beveled edge right here, see how it's rounded above that little square hole? That right there, you want to make sure it's not damaged. Because if this part's damaged right here, that groove, the cartridges, they got to miss that in order to get up into the damn chamber. Here at the back, that groove, all right, it's got to be in good shape because the bolt has to pass over it to catch the top of the base of the cartridge and push it on into the chamber. You want to make sure it's fine. The mag latch catch on the magazine, you want to make sure it's present and it ain't beat all to hell. And it's got the 6 spot weld marks. Okay, well, it's not spot welded, but you know what I'm saying. Those 6 marks right there. And then you want to make sure the front catch. This is what the op rod. There's a little extension, little nipple on the op rod spring guide that catches the front of the magazine. All right, you want to make sure that magazine, that hole right there, isn't walled out, and beat all to hell. Right there with my thumbs at that little rectangular hole. And of course, you want to look at an angle so you can get the reflection. You want to make sure the body of the magazine isn't distorted, it's not twisted, it's not beat in or bashed in or has a dent or a perforation or a hole. When all these inspections are done, then all you got to do is just clean it, reassemble it. You're good to go. Now, the next thing, taking this spring off of this follower can be a little bit of a damn nightmare because it ain't exactly, I mean, it's locked in there. It don't just sit on there. It's locked in there. You see the left side of it right here, and I'll get it into the viewfinder. There we go. The left side is open and it curves around and it's hooked under this little latch, this little lock right here. And the damn wig is wiggling like crazy. Alright, but it's locked in there on both sides. There's a little old nipple that sticks out from the follower. Another thing, you want to make sure it's got the 3 welds. You can see the little 3 round marks right there. You want to make sure those 3 marks are present. It's welded, it's correct. And here in a minute, we're going to take that cheap Pro Mag apart and I'm going to show you the differences. But that's the real deal. And no fakeness, ain't nothing to it. Now this one's got some, it's pitted up from rust and so forth. But these were originally manufactured in the 60s. That's not that bad. But you want to make sure there's nothing. You want to make sure it's smooth with your finger. Make sure the damn smooth. That way them cartridges just slide right over there. Just slide right off of there. I will be rolling in some still photographs, some close-ups of the springs, the followers, the mag tube body inside and out, as well as the floor plate of these magazines. Okay, that way you get a really good picture of, because the lighting in here sucks, and I don't have access to anything much better to help it out. But they're very simple to take apart. However, let's take a single stack Colt or Colt type magazine for a 1911 mil spec, which this one is not actually a mil spec. This is a aftermarket job, but the magazine body is mil spec. The floor plates on these do not come out. You have to take them apart up here at the top, which is a little bit involved, and it also requires you to have a punch. In order, you have to push the spring down and compress it, and then you have to put a punch through it to hold the spring down, and then the follower falls out, and then you pull out the spring. I'm going to do that again. Put the freaking safety glasses on. Don't be an idiot, because these things I mean, these springs are very powerful. Put your damn eyeball out. You'll be calling you Popeye. And apparently I did not compress it far enough. And I really don't have anything here I can compress it with. A pencil with an eraser is the best thing, and I didn't think to grab one. So you just compress it. If you watch through your wetness holes on the side, you can see where the spring passes it. Just put your punch through it like that. Alright, and it'll hold the spring compressed. And then you reach in there with that little hook device. You need one of those when you work on your guns at all. You need one of those. I mean, that's all there is to it. You just pull that follower out. Most of the followers, now this one here is not the original military design. This is a hybrid design. They started this one in the 60s, I think, or the 70s. When in 1911 and Jeff Cooper really took off in the competition with the 1911. But they're all pretty much the same way, except the other type have a flat. The top of it's flat and it's got a little nipple to catch the extractor groove on the cartridge and make damn sure it feeds through and does everything like it's supposed to. Alright, now the fun part is to hold that spring down and keep it under control. You pull this damn thing here out. Again, a pencil would be a good idea, but this ink pen works fine. Just got to take your time, control that damn spring, get it out of there. Alright, and that's it. In this case, the floor plate, like I said, is welded on. It doesn't come off. Magazine spring comes up out of there, and your follower. Nothing to it. Assembly is reverse, can be a little bit tricky because you got to make sure that thing goes back in and stays in square and straight. But you finagle with it a little bit, you can get it to work, no problem. This one here is one that I brought out specifically for this. This is the only 1911 magazine that I own that has cracked feed lips. And I thought for the video, this would be the best thing to show you so you know what to look for. Whether it's on your rifle magazine, a shotgun, detachable box magazine, or a handgun magazine, those feed lips, whatever style they are in, if they are damaged, and like this one has those cracks in it, it's not able to control the cartridge correctly as the slides hitting the cartridge, pushing it out of there. It's got to maintain control of it to the exact right moment before it releases it. Okay, and with those cracks, it won't maintain it, and this one here will spit the damn rounds out. When it started out, I was like, what the hell? But I already had my book on the 1911, the complete assembly guide and the complete owner's guide, and they told us about these kind of things happening and what cause could be. And so I got my magnifying glass out, and sure as world, there it was. I will take a still photograph of this because I doubt the camera will pick it up, but I'm going to try it. If it doesn't come out, I'll roll in several still photographs at different angles showing you what the damaged feed lip looks like. There we go. Finally got the camera. Took it off that black background, put it on a dark blue, and you can see it a lot better. You can see that crack easily. And there with some light on it, you can see it a whole lot better. But that's the kind of damage you're looking for. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so what should you be using on your magazines to lubricate them? A high quality gun oil that is rubbed into the surface, just like you're rubbing baby oil on your wife's booty or wherever. You really want to rub it in there. You don't want to just rub it across and then wipe off the excess. You really want to rub it in there and let it penetrate. However, if your rifle or handgun uses parkerized, military parkerization, the finish on it, like an M1A, and they're magazines, okay? Parkerization's not a protective coating, okay? It's not paint. It doesn't seal the metal from the elements. What it does is it gives you a matrix to grab a hold of and retain lubricant, but not oil. Oil will not do it. And I'm getting this from the military, all right, and from the folks that know. High quality gun grease, and in this case the best of the best is Lubriplate. Now here in the last couple of weeks I wanted to know for sure. God bless America, you got frog lube, this lube, that lube, Ballistol, this, that, and the other, and I mean, you name it. What's the best? I want to know, really, truly. So I did some searching, and I did some reading, and not one single manufacturer from Ram Oil or God, you name it, whoever, whatever, doesn't matter. None of them have a grading system to tell you what range of lubricant that this is or that is or anything else, with the exception of the one and only Lubriplate. They make a gun oil that is specific for firearms and their functions and their needs, and grease for semi-automatics operation. They manufacture lubrications for you name it, every damn thing. Automotive, aircraft, and food grade. Okay, each one of their lubricants falls under the NLG something, whatever it is, the National Lubricant Testing. I mean, anywho, it'll tell you exactly what it's for, what it's good for, and what it's not good for. Okay, so Lubriplate, simple as that. I mean, that's the only lubricant I'm going to recommend, period, end of argument, because you can actually find out what the hell it's good for, what it's manufactured from, and what it will do, period. All the rest of them, they'll tell you what it'll do, but you can't go and find it any damn where in a national database like you can with automotive grease, automotive oil, aircraft grease, aircraft oil, food grade lubricants that will you use that will come into contact with foods. Every single one of them, there's a database. All right, you can go and find out. You can't find out crap about Ram Oil. You can't find out crap about Ballistol. You can't find out crap about it except for what the manufacturer tells you. It ain't worth a damn. It ain't worth a damn. You can find out about this. Okay? Because it's an actual lubricant. Design, it has a specific design criteria. It meets the military specifications set forth. And this in here has a lot, number, and an expiration date. Period. Complimentary plant surveys, tech support, lubrication software, machinery tags, follow-up, lubrication analysis, and training. All that is provided by Lubriplate. This is the bomb. That's all there is to it. But anywho, regardless of what lubricant or grease you decide to use, if you have Parkerized finished, the idea is to take some, smear it into, after you've really cleaned it, and rub it in there. Rub it in there. Get it in down into the subsurface, all right, down to the metal. And what that Parkerization does is it traps it there. And it gives it, there's a slight barrier between the metal, the lubricant, and the outside air. That's what the Parkerization's for. So if you have a Parkerized surface, oil is not enough. It will not do the job. You take grease and you rub it in just like you do baby oil or cocoa oil or whatever on your skin. It's the same thing. I'm losing my voice. We'll take a break. Okay, our demonstration continues. Safety glasses are going back on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm about to disassemble this Pro Mag. I've had this thing for a few years. I've never had a failure out of it. But it is not the same as the mil-spec magazine, such as my new Checkmate ones. And the older ones like the KMTs that I just received from one Mr. Gas 1. But the tear down, the take down is the same. You can already see that the spring is wound very, I mean, it's completely different than the real deal. So that's the first thing you're going to notice right off the damn bat. Alright, here's a side-by-side comparison. You can see how square these are and how this one's rounded. Like I said though, so far, it's fed like it should. I don't want to destroy my camera, so we'll turn it away. And then, once you get it all the way out, the next difference is obvious as the nose on my damn face. Where are the two little legs that this one has? Here's the real deal. Mil-spec follower. Here's Pro Mag. Where is the little legs at? Alright, they're just not even there. Like I said, I've had this magazine since like 2009, and it hasn't given me any troubles yet. The feed lips, they're fine. They haven't bowed out. I leave the damn thing loaded. I want to know, you know. But the spring, it looks like a handgun spring, really, the way it's wound versus the military specification winding on the spring of this baby. Now that's something, ladies and gentlemen. If you get a hold of an old magazine and it's got a weak spring in it, but the body of it's fine and the follower isn't beat all to hell, you can go and buy a brand new set of springs. Got a whole brand new set of Wolf magazine springs I got through Brownells. Right there. And I've added these two new magazines and a couple others to the inventory, so I need to actually buy another 5-pack or 6-pack or maybe 10-pack or maybe a 20-pack. You just never can tell. In order to be able to replace them all, but I've got them right there. Still in their original packaging, still sealed up tight, precisely wound to military specifications. 5% extra power is what they're claiming. Made in the US of A. And that right there, you can do the same thing. You can get a kit through Fulton Armory and certain other ones where you can get the follower and the magazine floor plate and the springs for each of your magazines brand new, instead of having to buy the entire body. A whole lot cheaper than buying the whole thing. As long as the body of the magazine's fine, you're good to go. You can do the same thing for your 1911. I don't know about Glocks and the rest. I'd imagine they do the same way if needed. I understand they got some really cool springs, but so far I haven't had to replace any of them. And some of my magazines are 15 years old. The timing is critical. When that cartridge is presented in front of the bolt, as the bolt passes by, ejects the spent cartridge, pauses for that split millionth of a second before the spring tension returns it to the front. Okay, so it is critical. Now what I've got is I've got two of the brightest snap caps that I own loaded into that magazine, and I'm going to ease that thing forward and just hopefully slow it down enough that you can see what's going on. The rifle has cycled, or the handgun. The bolt or the slide is all the way to its rear. It has stopped its rearward movement, and now the spring is taken back over, and it's wanting to return it to the very front. So what we'll do is release it, pull it all the way to the rear. The bolt is as far back as it can get. If the magazine spring and the follower and all work correctly, it will present the cartridge in front of the bolt face, and as the bolt returns to battery, it will start pushing that cartridge in there, slowly but surely, until the magazine releases it. Okay, and you can see it going up into the chamber. There, bam, at that moment, the magazine has released it, and it's just basically flopping around in there. It is not a controlled feed operation like in a 1911 handgun, which we will demonstrate here momentarily. But as it continues on forward, it chambers around. And this one here will take a little bit of encouragement, because you got to actually snap that damn extractor claw over the base of it as it gets it into the chamber. That's what it's designed to do. You fire the cartridge, everything starts back over, comes back, and of course it's already got a good hold on it, and the extractor's already trying to push it around. I mean the ejector. As soon as that dang end of that case clears, it will twist. You see it moving to the right side. Bam! And that is very slow, but you saw it kicked it right out of there, pretty as you please. And you saw right there, hopefully, I hope the camera caught that. God, if it didn't, I'm going to scream. But as soon as that bolt moved all the way to the rear, the magazine spring presented that next round in front of the bolt. I'm going to push it down, ease the bolt back forward, alright, because the bolt's actually riding. Damn, that's got some power. The bolt is actually riding on that next cartridge. When it passes the rear of that thing, you can see that baby going up a little bit already. When it passes the base, watch it pop up. Bam. It is presented again in front of the bolt. And there's just barely any movement once it passes that point, the bolt. It has to work. The timing has to be dead on the money. Now let's do the 1911. Okay, semi-automatic handgun. And doesn't matter if it's a damn Glock, doesn't matter if it's a M&P, XD, FN, it doesn't matter. They all work basically the same way, okay? Delayed blowback, okay? By using camming surfaces and locks on the barrel and the slide to make them together for a moment until the bullet has passed out of the barrel and the pressure inside the barrel has dropped to a safe level, and then it'll unlock the slide from the barrel, eject the spent cartridge, and start all over. It's a self-loading gun, okay? So what we're going to attempt to do here is get the camera so that you can see the action in real slow motion. Like I said, a 1911 is a controlled feed design in which once the cartridge is released, the magazine releases the control of the cartridge to the gun. It has been captured by the extractor. Now on the 1911 and just about every other gun, the extractor is always right here in the slide, okay? Now on mine, I've got the original style. It's internal, okay? Keeps the crud and the crap out of it. But a lot of them, including the M&P and XD, the Glock and all, have an external one that is spring-loaded on the outside. But they're in the same exact place. They all got to grab the same damn spot on the bullet, correct? All right, they got to get a hold of that damn extractor groove. Right dead square in the center, just above my pinky there. That's, well, but you can see, you know what the extractor groove is. I don't know why I've got to break it down. But anywho, the gun is fully functional. The magazine's in it. All it has is snap caps in it, okay? There's 3 of them in there, bright reddish looking color. You can see them pretty easy. The gun is totally empty. There's nothing in it. There you go. You can see up the feed ramp and right into the damn barrel. That little string light has been helpful tonight. Alright, so what we're going to do, get this baby into the frame, get it where you can see the action. And I'm going to hold this baby down. What I got to do is release the slide and ease it forward. And this is easier said than done. Alright, we're going to start easing it forward, and you'll see it start pushing that cartridge out of the, let me get it angled a little bit better, magazine. Whoop, it's already kicked it up. The extractor has already captured it. God, let's see if I can hold it. Okay, I've done some finagling. I'm having to hold it under pressure. But you can see the base of the cartridge, and you can see right beside it that shiny piece to the right, well, to the bottom of the center of the screen. It's just to the bottom. I mean, well, right now it's dead square center of the screen. That little hook has the base of the cartridge. All right, and it guides. I mean, it's already captured it. It's already guiding it right into the breech. The breech closes, and the barrel and the slide lock back together. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I was going to take, well, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to take, this is Chemo's M&P series, M&P 40 cal compact. This is one of her magazines. I think this is the original one that came with her, because I just bought her a brand new one just like this one for Christmas. And I'm about to get 2 brand new floor plates with a little finger hold on them, so it's a little bit easier. But I'm going to take this one apart and show you guys. It's I don't think it's all much different than a rifle magazine, to be honest with you. You got to push in. There's a little hole right in the center. You got to push that in. That's a little lock, and then you just slide the floor plate to the front. Of course, you got to be damn careful, because these babies in here have got some pressure, and I'm not sure if there's a catch in there to keep them popping out or not, and there is not. So you got to. There's a floor plate. You got to control it with your thumb. Just gently let it slide out. And there's a follower attached to it. And it's a polymer. Alright. And that magazine clears clean as a whistle, so we're not going to screw with it. So leave it alone. Just reassemble that baby. Make sure the follower goes back correctly. And then help push everything back down in there with our thumb. Alright, there's little tiny lips on either side of the mag. This is a bit of a pain. Like I said, that's the reason you wear these damn safety glasses, just in case. Well, some of these babies can, these double stack mags, they got some oomph to them now. You want to make damn sure you don't damage it. So you got to get it in there. And hold that thing down with that little old nipple. And this is when I need that down. A pencil really. There we go. And it's back on there. Slid back on. The little lock tab popped back up in there. And there you go. That's a double stack pistol magazine. Now I don't know about Glock, it may be different. Each is usually your owner's manual, as I've stated in several of my videos, is your most valuable resource on how to disassemble your gun, to clean it, lubricate it, and then the magazines. Okay? But anywho, this is Mac Daddy 1911A1 with the Shade Tree Survivalist. I hope you guys have learned something from this video. I got a few more parts I'm going to shoot separately and roll in, but hopefully the video is informative, and who knows, we might get a damn knockdown drag out over the lubricant part. That's alright. I like controversy. Otherwise, I'd be a little titty baby sissy and vote for Obama. I don't think so. Thank you very much for watching.